There is power in the pivot. There's power in being able to pivot regardless of what is going on. Welcome to day number 27 of She Leads with AI book countdown. I am so excited, y'all. We are just getting started. Or as my girlfriend likes to say, honey, we are cooking with grease. We are cooking with grease. Okay, so how many of you all have had to do many pivots in the last couple years? I know I had to pivot when the pandemic happened. My business, it was basically shut down. We lost all of our corporate contracts in one day. Y'all, so my revenue, the company's revenue went to zero. And so I quickly had to pivot, just like many of you all did during this time. And so with AI, it is very similar in that we're having to pivot. So total industries are changing, are being disrupted by AI. And so I really wanted to talk to you all about pivoting towards AI and making sure that we are establishing our business in order to be able to scale with AI, or that we're establishing our leadership in our career where we're able to lead with AI. So many of you are probably no stranger to having to pivot, whether it is in your personal life, your professional life, or your business. You have had to pivot, even pivot in raising your kids. Right? So you may have one child, which, you have to use one kind of parenting, and another child, you have to use another kind of parenting. So with AI, I want you to think of it as being able to pivot. So I'll just share a little bit about my journey. So many of you all that were friends or that we've been following it, you guys have been following me for a while. You all know that I spent almost 4 years in federal prison. And so that was a whole pivot for me because I lost my business. It had to file business bankruptcy. I had to file business bankruptcy, and everything that I knew, it was gone. Like what I identified my worth with, my material possessions gone. And so that was a huge pivot for me. And then even when I came back home, it was a pivot for me. I was newly married, had a son, and so everything was like pivot, pivot, pivot. And so you can either put your head in the sand and say, whoa, it's me, or you can take a different approach and you can embrace the pivot. So when I look back now, after every single pivot that I had to do, what I realized is that I was more resilient, I was stronger, and I learned the lesson. So many of you too now, if you go back and you look at when you had to pivot, it didn't feel like it in the middle of it, but when you got to the other side, it actually made you stronger and prepared you for the mission that God has for you. So when we're looking at AI, I want you to look at all of the different ways that you can pivot and be able to leverage it in your business, your career, or your personal life. So with AI, let me just give you a personal example. When everything started happening and all of the headlines were coming that AI is coming to take your jobs, I went into AI and I said, hey, listen, this is the type of consulting business that I have. What are things that I can do to incorporate AI within it? What are some different things that I can do to leverage AI in my business? And so AI gave me a whole lesson and directions on how I could incorporate AI, how I could pivot my services to be able to remain extremely competitive in the market. So for all of you out there that's wondering, how can you use AI in your career or in your business, use AI to help you to figure that out. So your challenge or your question for today is really sit down with AI, put in there the type of business that you have or the type of organization that you work for, what your career path is, and ask it, how can you use AI as a competitive advantage? Okay? So you guys know that as we're on this She Leads with AI book countdown, our goal is to really have women to lead the AI revolution. So I call it inviting you to become a part of the women's AI revolution, because we don't want to be sitting on the sidelines while AI is moving, as people say, at the speed of AI. We want to be right there in the front leading, because as women, we come with a different skill set when it comes to leading with emotional intelligence and problem solving and critical thinking, all of those soft skills that now in the age of AI are going to become power skills. So I talk about all of this in the book, She Leads with AI. I have a chapter dedicated to careers, professionals, and leaders, a chapter dedicated to businesses. And so you want to make sure that you get your copy, get your hands on your copy now. So click the link below, sheleadswithaibook.com, sheleadswithaibook.com. and join the AI revolution, because women should be leading it. All right, no woman left behind, no woman left behind. All right, thank you so much for joining me on 30 Days Countdown to Release She Leads with AI. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.